right. Melissa and I wanted to have just a quick little discussion of the Jiu Jitsu belts. Kind of what are they? What kind of, I don't know, there's stereotypical things that seem to define the belts, little jokes, memes, or whatever, and then there's kind of what they really seem to mean. So it kind of starts off with in Jiu Jitsu for the adults. We're going to concentrate on the adults right now. Kids, sorry, you guys can leave. We're going to concentrate on the adults. So the adult white belt, that's the first belt. So ultimately speaking, Melissa, when we say an adult white belt, what's one of the first things that tends to come to mind?
Spaz.
Okay, so as the white belt doesn't know what they don't know. And so they're kind of learning the whole process. They're learning what's okay, what's not okay. Can they do this? Can they do that? Is this not allowed? Is that not allowed? And then there's a lot of nervous energy that comes with the white belt. That's where the spazziness kind of comes from.
A lot of excess energy usage.
Right. And so in the beginning with the white belt, to be honest with you, is the biggest lie in the game. Don't even know truly. I mean, the white belt we say is the beginning of Jiu Jitsu, but the reality is that, I mean, not everybody's starting from the same place. So two people sitting on the floor wearing exactly the same white belt with no stripes, they're not equal. One person is potentially much further ahead than the other just because life's experiences put them there. So the one part you always have to watch out for is, like I said, is in the beginning, the white belt's not really a white belt. Okay, you have to when you roll with a brand new white belt, okay, treat everyone as if they're dangerous until they prove otherwise. So when you're going with the white belt, but man, the white belt is the funnest of all the belts. It's the funnest one to be.
Oh yeah.
Because everything is so exciting. Everything is new. The white belt is the honeymoon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the honeymoon belt. Everything is so amazing. Everything that you learn, even getting your ass kicked, is fun because you're learning so much so fast. The amount of information that you will learn at your white belt level, I mean, that will outweigh virtually, I mean, you will learn more as a white belt than you probably will at any other, I would say probably even all the other belts combined.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the amount of information you will be exposed to, you're not going to remember a fraction of it, but you're going to be exposed to so much as a white belt, and it's so exciting. The white belt, like I said, it's the honeymoon belt. Man, that was a blast. When I was a white belt, I remember it being just every night I would come home,
all excited,
so excited to show Melissa all this stuff I was learning. I mean, I was so excited about it. At that white belt level, to me, it was the funnest belt.
Yeah. Well, and I think at white belt, the ego doesn't come into play as much at that point because there's no expectation. There's no expectation of you knowing anything. So you get your ass kicked. Well, that was expected. It's going to happen because you don't know what you're doing. Now, on the flip side of that, rolling with a white belt is a really interesting experience as an advanced player. Because white belts are going to throw stuff at you that nobody else on the floor is going to.
Right.
Because they don't know what they're supposed to do.
Well, I think sometimes
they do crazy stuff.
I think sometimes rolling with an advanced rank individual is easier.
Yeah.
I'm not saying easier from a standpoint. I mean, sometimes I do think rolling with, literally is easier. Not just safer, but it's easier.
From a predictability standpoint.
Right, because they're predictable. They know the rules.
Right.
They know these things. So if I do this, then it's predictable how you're going to respond. But the white belt,
you never know what you're going to get.
You never know.
They're like a box of chocolates.
but definitely though, I think the white belt's the honeymoon.
Yeah, for sure.
It's exciting. Everything is amazing, and then you get your blue belt. Now, blue belt, the stereotype for the blue belt is the disappearing blue belt, the ghost.
And we've seen it. We've seen it a lot.
That they quit. They stop training.
Yep.
And it's because the honeymoon's over.
Yep.
That now there's expectations. And now when you were the white belt and nobody was using you as a measuring stick. And now as a blue belt, all white belts are using you as a measuring stick. And there's a little bit, for some people, for a lot of people, there's a stress that comes with that.
Yeah, it's pressure.
There's a lot of pressure. And for some people, unfortunately, maybe they fell out of love with jiu-jitsu in that fourth stripe on their white belt. And so they knew that the blue belt's coming up. So they're like, well, if I just hold out for another 6 months, at least I'll get that accomplishment.
Right.
And then they quit.
There's also a learning curve. So at white belt, you're learning like this.
It's massive.
It's massive. Everything is so new. And then blue belt, it takes a dramatic
Blue belt's like the first plateau.
change. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of plateau. You're revisiting moves that you've already seen. You're learning. You're still learning, because the first time you see it as a white belt, you're not learning that move to its full potential.
No, I'm not even close.
You're missing details. You're going through the gross motor skills of it, but not the fine details.
Right.
At blue belt, you start to get to really identify those fine details, but that's not as exciting. It's not as fun.
Correct. And that's why I say the honeymoon's over.
The light bulbs aren't going.
But also
like
now,
crazy.
the upper level white belts are hunting for you.
Yeah.
Because when you were an upper level white belt, you were hunting for a blue belt. You were hoping to catch one.
Right.
And then now that you're a blue belt, the purple belts are looking at you and going, now it's time to pick up the pace.
Yep.
Now instead of the purple belts toying with you and being, super, I mean, everybody's friendly, but now they're putting it on you a little bit more.
They're not doing teaching roles anymore.
They're doing a little bit less. They're
Right.
holding you to a higher standard.
Right.
Some people aren't ready for that. But at the blue belt level, like I said, that's the disappearing one. That's the meme. Go look it up. I mean, it's that they disappear. Blue belt was a blue. I still had a lot of fun at blue though. I did still have a lot of fun at blue.
Blue was fun.
But definitely blue definitely had a I can't even say stress, not for me.
Different expectation.
But it was definitely a different expectation. Now, like I said, if you travel and you go other places, when you walk in, oh, you're a blue belt.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, like I said, the way the other advanced belts are going to treat you is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But the blue belt's still fun. The learning curve at blue is still pretty good. Then you get your purple.
Yeah.
Now again, to kind of give it a little bit of so white belt in jiu-jitsu would be, if we were to like going to school, that'd be like the white belt would be about the equivalent of cramming pre-K, kindergarten, and elementary school pretty much all in one.
Probably some junior high too.
Yeah, probably a little bit of junior high, all in one.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you get your blue belt. That's probably junior high.
Junior high to high school.
Junior high, right? Getting you into a little bit into high school, maybe even getting into your freshman year. Okay, then you get your purple belt.
Upperclassmen.
Maybe blue. Yeah, maybe blue's going to get you to about maybe sophomore year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you get your purple. That's your upperclassmen. That's your seniors, junior seniors.
We call it the ego belt.
I think it's oh man, I'm trying. What's the dude's name? He's one of the Dirty Dozen. But he calls it the cocky belt.
Oh, yeah.
Or the, I call it the let me show you belt.
Look what I can do.
Right? So ultimately, those that made it from blue until purple, so purple is as I call it, it's the let me show you. It's the first of the belts where in regular everyday life, they will start wearing purple.
Purple everything.
Purple everything.
Anything.
It's the first. They're very proud of the belt, as they should. It's a very big accomplishment.
But they're definitely rocking
They're definitely
the purple
rocking
belt rash guards.
Definitely rocking the purple.
They're definitely rocking usually like not a jiu-jitsu belt, but a belt that's purple.
Or something. Or something.
The patches.
The joke about purple belts is that they always show up late and they skip warm-ups.
That's pretty true.
That's the meme. That's the meme. But I also call it the let me show you belt, because not only do they want everybody to know that they're a purple belt, they're also the one that what you're going to find is they will start working the floor.
Yes.
They will start going, oh, hey, let me show you. Hey, oh, that armbar right there, let me show you. And they'll start really working the floor. They're the first ones of the lower rank because they're a mid-rank
Right.
belt, but they're the ones that's where I think the cockiness starts to come in.
Yeah.
They're, typically speaking, if they're a competitor, this is when they become their most competitive.
Yes, is that purple?
This is when they get their most aggressive in competition
And prep.
and really start pushing heavy for that competition win and things of that nature.
And the working the floor and the show me side is not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of prepping them. They're learning how to teach.
Right, but what I mean by the let me show you is they have this desire that literally, like, they have to show a correction to everyone on the floor that day.
Yeah, true.
Right.
True.
It's above and beyond.
Yeah, true.
And that's where sometimes it can be, that's where, shoot, like the one dude, I can't remember his name, it's killing me right now, but where he's like, it's the cocky belt. Because they have this air, like, I'm going to show everyone how good I am by fixing, I'm going to show you everything, something that you're doing wrong, that somehow the instructor did not show you, but I'm going to show you. And it's fun. It's fun. We joke about it, so hopefully nobody's getting butt hurt. If they are getting butt hurt, come on, you're a purple belt, get over it. But it's the, like I said, it's the let me show you. That's what I like to refer to it as. It's the let me show you. It's the senior in high school that thinks they're hot shit.
Yeah.
That you're the top dog in high school, but you're really not. I mean, you're a big fish in a little pond that hasn't really gone up against anything major yet. One of our students one time heard somebody asked him, "Hey, you're a purple belt, right? What does that mean?" And he goes, "Well, it pretty much means that I'm an expert." I just about died when I heard it. I was around the corner. I just about died. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. A purple belt is an expert? If a purple belt's an expert, what's a black belt? A purple belt is a mid-rank. It's a very good accomplishment. It's an awesome belt. I love my purple belt years. But purple belt is not an expert. It's a mid-level. Like I said, it's every senior in high school thinks they're the shit.
Yes.
They think but they haven't gone out into the real world yet.
Yeah.
They really haven't started. Brown belt is more humble.
Brown belt, I feel like at brown belt, you have kind of a bit of a reality check.
Well, it's like you entered college and you realized that as a senior in high school, even if you were a top dog on campus, you're in college now.
Yeah, it's different.
Okay? It's different. Lots of other top dogs are now in college. You're not that person anymore.
Well, and I think at brown belt, one, the purple belts are gunning for you pretty hardcore at that point. Two, the black belts they're not babying you anymore.
Correct.
Because they know your next evolution is to black belt.
Correct.
So we stop babying you a little bit. We start, expecting a lot more out of the brown belts. We're also,
brown belts,
we're going to take it to you a little bit more.
Brown belts are a little bit more humble.
Yeah.
Because again, they know, don't get me wrong, purple belts are good. Okay. A really good purple belt can tap a brown and a black belt. Now, will they do it consistently?
No.
No. And will they do it against a lot of brown and black belts?
No. But it's going to happen.
But they can be a threat.
Yeah.
And you have to take them seriously because, although they're referred to as the cocky belt, I mean, they've earned that little bit of cockiness. They're good. Okay. But it's that arrogance.
Right.
That ultimately speaking kind of almost prevents them from really understanding what it's like to be a black belt.
Right.
And the brown belt kind of starts to get it.
Yeah. The brown belt kind of starts puckering like, oh, shoot. That's just coming around the corner. Black belt's coming. I got to get my stuff together. I got to. And
so the brown belt, like I said, it's more like your first couple of years in college.
Yeah.
You were a top dog and now you've entered into a bigger ocean. And now you're actually starting to do some real studying.
Yeah. And most brown belts are teaching a lot more. They're taking on more responsibility at the gym usually.
Right.
They're usually, looked at more in a leadership role. in their gyms.
Right.
So I think that kind of helps with the maturity of the jiu-jitsu journey, basically.
Yeah. Well, and even then, they're starting to understand that part of them as being brown belts in that teaching is also a little bit more structure within that teaching. It's more than just walking around and going, hey, let me help you with your armbar.
Right. They're putting together curriculums or possibly teaching their own classes.
Well, and they're also starting to see progression of some of the people that they're helping.
Correct.
You know, but like I said, brown belts tend to be a bit more humble. You know, it's not to say that they're not still very good on the mat. I mean, again, there's degrees to this thing. And a brown belt is a very skilled practitioner, but they've mentally evolved.
Yes.
The purple belt physically evolved.
But mentally, they're still kind of...
But mentally, I mean, like I said, every senior in high school thinks they're the stuff.
Yeah.
And then when you get to college, you start to realize that you have a very limited field of vision. And like I said, the brown belt starts to be working as much on their mental game as their physical game.
Right.
Their physical game is very good. And then you get your black belt. Now, for a lot of people, again, if a purple belt's an expert, and I still absolutely not, but if an expert is a purple belt, then what's a black belt?
Right.
Okay. A black belt's actually the beginning.
Yeah, beginning of really being able to dig into jiu-jitsu.
Well, it's the beginning though. When you look at other arts, it's a countdown.
Yeah.
A white belt is 10th rank. And then you work your way down, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and then you get your black belt. And then when you get your black belt, you count up. So now I'm a black belt, 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree. So when you really think about it, the black belt is not the end of the journey.
No.
It's really the beginning of the journey. And that's why I equate it more to getting your degree, like getting your bachelor's in college. Because now you kind of have a direction, and now it's time for you to really do work.
Yeah, you got all your general ed out of the way.
You've done your education, and like I said, now it's time to actually put that education into work.
Yeah, black belts start to specialize a little bit. They start to build certain parts of their games that mesh well with them. Right. They start finding their personality in the the game.
And again, it's one of those, I equate it to pretty much like being able to get your bachelor's. Now, I mean, a bachelor's is a pretty amazing accomplishment, but it's not the end, because you're at the beginning of your career now.
Yeah.
You're just entering, just like a black belt. Getting your black belt, it's an amazing accomplishment, but it's not the end. You're at the beginning of your journey. 31 years as a black belt to get your next belt.
Yeah.
31. That's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a career. If you worked in a field in 31 years, I mean, that's a career in whatever you chose.
Yeah.
So that's why I equate your black belt to more like getting a bachelor's. But a bachelor's is a very educated individual, but I still would not really fully put them at an expert level.
Right.
Okay? Because when I go to work, and I work with a lot of very well-educated people, okay, the new kids coming out of college and coming in, very well-educated, but are really lacking that real-world experience. They're lacking experience within the field. You know, they've got that book smarts, but they don't really have that, you know, the seasoned ones a little bit, you know.
The best way to put it is those brand new black belts. So if you ever go to like a group seminar where you have multiple instructors, you can always pick out the brand new black belts.
Right, the newest one.
They're going to show you the most complicated, multi-step, fancy technique they can. They're going to pull their best. Like,
because they're trying to impress you.
Most impressive. The more seasoned black belts are going to show you an all-level move.
And so, realistically speaking, a black belt and a purple belt have a lot in common.
Yeah.
Again, the first purple When you get your purple, it's the let me show you belt.
Yes.
They start to dress in purple. They want to like, I'm going to show everybody how good I am. Let me fix your game. Guess who also does that?
The brand new black belt.
The brand new black belt.
Yeah.
They also do it. Now suddenly you're going to see a black belt keychains, like literally black belts that look just like their belt, in real life. Everything starts to have a black belt on it. And they also want to impress you with their knowledge. But it's interesting though, because again, we talk about that the black belt is really just the beginning. It's not the end, it's the beginning. A black belt cannot promote or create another black belt.
Right.
That takes 6 more years.
Yeah.
2 stripes. Okay. You have to get a second degree to be able to promote another black belt. So again, just kind of going back, if there's no way a purple belt is an expert, that's a middle belt. And truly speaking, when a black belt becomes a black belt, that person should not treat themselves or present themselves again like they're the end all be all.
Yeah.
Because you're just at the beginning of your journey. Now it's time to really take all of everything you've learned and now
refine it.
And now make it, you did all your book knowledge. Now it's time for you to let it start to permeate into your life and become, that's where your degrees, that's why we're counting up. 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree, 4th degree. Again, it's 3 years to the 1st degree, 3 years to the 2nd degree. You have to be a 2nd degree to be able to promote. So again, it's one of these things. I mean, even people get their black belt and they think, oh man, I'm a master now. No, you're not.
No.
No, like even if we want to talk about from a knowledge standpoint, you're not a master.
Right.
I mean, you're not a master. You've made a major accomplishment to get your black belt, but you're not a master of the knowledge. I mean, at that point,
no.
You're very knowledgeable. You're very skilled. But even at that point, it's still, like I said, even when you get your bachelor's, you can still get your master's.
Yeah.
You can still get your PhD. I mean, when you get your black belt, there's still levels to this stuff. You're not done. There's still development and still advancement to do. And so you can start to see that on the black belt itself. So when you get your black belt, there's the black belt, and then now we follow the IBJJF. And then you may see some different things from different places. But like you may see a black belt that instead of a red bar, it's a white bar. Okay. The white bar usually, depending on what group you're with, may designate that is a
probationary.
Probationary.
Yeah.
Or in some instances, that may show that individual is a competitor, meaning they don't teach.
Right.
Okay. And then you get the red bar. Now in IBJJF, it's just a red bar. They don't really do the white bar, so they just do a red bar. So a red bar, again, a black belt with a red bar predominantly means that you have earned the rank of black belt, but you don't teach.
Right.
You're not actively in a role where you are then trying to promote Jiu Jitsu in your own classes or your own place.
Right, spot teaching is not the same.
No, it's not.
Filling in for your instructor, that's not the same as being an instructor. An instructor usually has a dedicated class or series of classes that they're teaching on a regular basis.
Well, one of the things that I kind of look at, and it's an easy designation, who's going to promote you?
Yeah.
When the time comes, who is going to put that belt or stripe on you? It's not the assistant that is spotting you around the floor. I've had thousands of people that have had impacts on my game, but I've only had 2 instructors. They were the ones that promoted me. They were the ones that were the ones overseeing everybody that was underneath. So even though I've had a lot of people that have helped me over the years, they're not my instructors. I mean, they're not my instructors. And so ultimately speaking, there's a lot of people out there that you'll see them with the red bars with no stripes. Now, then you get the stripes that go immediately below the bar and immediately above the bar. Those are generally referred to as instructor stripes. So when you see a black belt with those bars, that generally means that they are actively teaching. Sometimes what it means is they are actively teaching, usually in their own academy,
but not necessarily,
or are running
right
programs.
A program, yes.
Within an academy, not just an assistant.
Right, running a program.
I have my instructor's bars. Melissa has her instructor's bars.
Christian
has his instructor's bars. Our certificates bear all of our signatures.
Yes.
Okay. When a member of Dark Wolf gets promoted, I am the chief instructor, but myself, Melissa, and Christian are all authorized and capable of issuing that rank, issuing that belt,
right,
or the like. And under that, it's virtually uncontestable within our environment.
Right.
If I came in one day and Christian said, I chose to promote. Now, I would be a little upset that he went around us, but he has that capability. He has that.
Right.
He has that authorization, or that what's the word I'm looking for? Accreditation.
Yes.
We choose when we do it that all three of us.
Right.
And that's why we try as much as possible that all three of us are there during the ceremony and the promotions, to put the belt around your waist, and then to all be part of the photo and the ceremony as it takes place. Because in the Dark Wolf realm, I am the chief instructor, but Melissa, Christian, and myself, we are the instructors within Dark Wolf. That's why we have the instructor's bars, and we are the ones giving the promotion.
Correct.
Now, when the people then register, like say you want to become a member of the IBJJF, things of that nature, Dark Wolf is a registered academy. So if you register through there, you can select Dark Wolf as a academy. And then I am a certified black belt. Melissa is a certified black belt. Christian is a certified black belt. But we have all of our students, when they become
certified
members,
under Dave,
to go under me as the head instructor.
Correct.
And then under the gym, Melissa is also listed as an instructor, and Christian's also listed as an instructor. But when people say, I'm registering under Dark Wolf, then everybody registers under me as the chief instructor of Dark Wolf. So hopefully that gives a little bit of insight as to the belts.
We'll do another video on the kids' belts, because that's a whole other complicated situation. And then we'll also do another video kind of discussing stripes and how Dark Wolf works it.
Right.
All right. Hopefully that helps.
Stripes.
Stripes. Sounds sexy.
Yes.
All right, guys. Peace. Peace out.
Peace. Wow. Oh, sorry.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So I hit it
red, and then just